As seen on Kaleidoscope the series. Kaleidoscope the series on ABC 23. It's a different look at our region, unique places you may not know exist, unique people sharing their amazing talents. There are good things happening in our area. Watch it all every Sunday on Kaleidoscope the series on ABC 23.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Kaleidoscope. I'm Sarah Cameron. There are so many good and unique things about where we live. Here on Kaleidoscope, we find them. Everyone loves the story of an underdog that later makes it to be the champion. In a way, the Clarion River mirrors that kind of story. Once considered a dead river, heavily polluted and void of life, the Clarion River has made quite a comeback and recently received several honors that made it the standout recreational destination.
Clarion River has always been surrounded by forested hillsides and abundant natural resources. Late 1800s and early 1900s, those resources were used to build the communities that established along the river and to help build a growing nation. The unregulated use and extraction of those resources really had a devastating impact on water quality and the life of the river, to the point where in 1909, the river was so degraded that some considered it a dead river because it was unfathomable that any living creatures could survive in its black waters at the time. The conservation efforts really started in the mid-1900s, around that time when industrial processes were improved so that there was less pollution coming out of those industries. A lot of these conservation partners, the establishment of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, the Department of Environmental Protection, and organizations like the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy joined forces and came together and really made a collective impact on protecting those lands and improving the waterways. One of those partnering groups is the Allegheny Winds Coalition. That stands for Watershed Improvement Needs, and that is a group of professional government agencies, nonprofit conservation organizations, and even individuals and local municipalities that have come together to take part in these conservation efforts. So that group was very instrumental in the successful bids for Pennsylvania River of the Year of Conewango Creek in 2015 and the Allegheny River in 2017. That group also came together to help celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act, of which part of the Clarion River is designated last year. So, building on that momentum, we decided it was time to nominate the Clarion River for 2019 Pennsylvania River of the Year. And the Pennsylvania Organization for Watersheds and Rivers selected it as one of the finalists for a public voting campaign, which the Winds Coalition was very instrumental in, again, spreading the word, getting people out and getting them to vote for our beloved Clarion River. And in early January, we learned that the Clarion River had won by a margin of 40% of the total votes, so it was a pretty good showing of support for our lovely river, and it is now the 2019 Pennsylvania River of the Year. This year, the U.S. Postal Service has decided to release a series of stamps to recognize wild and scenic rivers across the nation. And the Clarion River is one of those that is recognized in the set of 12 stamps. It feels great. I mean, we have been involved very hands-on in the conservation efforts along this river. It has really helped build community and some partnerships that are important not only here but in other areas as well. And so for that, the Clarion River has really been a platform to build on. Everyone has such a sense of ownership and pride in the Clarion River. Every time we say it won, everyone is saying, I voted, and they want to acknowledge that they were a part of that process, and that's great that people have that vested interest in the resource. And we hope to help spread awareness of the Clarion River and continue to grow that following to provide more support as we go forward.
As River of the Year, it's a great distinction. One river in Pennsylvania gets it every year, and this year it's the Clarion. The fact that it also got a U.S. Forever stamp that comes out in May, thrilled to have that. The Clarion River on the northern end, great for brown trout fishing. Famous for paddling, great for kayaking, canoeing, and it flows through beautiful Cooks Forest State Park. If you've never experienced the Clarion River, come out and see the River of the Year.